Today I'm going book shopping and I'm really excited. I have a little extra time this weekend, so even though I have been shopping a few weeks ago, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go to one of my favorite stores. It's medium to far away, so I don't go that often, and I was there a few weeks ago, but like I said, I have extra time, so I'm gonna go out there. They have more than one location, and they have one that is downtown. I've looked at their website, I've looked at their online catalog, so I know they have very fancy books and their prices are a little bit outside my comfort zone. But this location is a warehouse and it's gigantic, and I think they're really dealing in quantity. So the pricing is very reasonable. Everything is half off, which I think is a weird, is it a psychological experiment? If everything is half off, why don't you just price it that way to start out with? I don't think they're really getting a lot of stock from the other location and marking it down. I think this is mostly they just buy and sell used books separate from the other location. The place is gigantic, really tall ceilings, and those sort of cavernous, twisty, some metal shelves, some wooden shelves. Some sections, A starts in one aisle and then goes to B, and then you turn a corner and you go down a thing to get to C. Some of it, they've abandoned the alphabet. They have a pretty good children's section. They get a lot of children's books in stock. They do get a pretty good amount of vintage, so sometimes I find things that are collectible to keep. I get some things for my nieces and nephews who are reading fans. I have some friends with kids. Sometimes they make requests, so I am always scrounging for that. I have a wish list of fiction right now, and this location isn't the best for fiction. Their prices are good, but not amazing. Sometimes I buy things there if I've been looking for a while and I run across a copy. They have pretty good literature. They have a solid literature section that they keep separate from fiction and is alphabetized. But they also have these overflow rooms of, they ran out of shelving and they put some of their newer stock that's getting ready to be shelved. So those are some of my favorite little side shelves to check to see what they have. They have a really big Easton Press Franklin Library section. Some of those books are good for illustrators, so every now and then I'll check there for something, but I don't know what I'm going to find today. And it's just kind of a bonus day, so I'm excited to check it out. So let's go vintage book shopping. Hi there. I'm back from shopping. I had a fantastic time. That was really great. I took a little bit of footage where there weren't people around. I don't like to take pictures of people without their permission, but I found some cool things, and I showed you a little bit of one of my favorite sections of the store where they have a lot of vintage children's books. I didn't find anything to take home with me today, but I did find some other treasures. Not a ton, but some really exciting stuff. I got this, the library book by Susan Orlean. And this is I'm excited about this. A huge bestseller. She's a great writer. This is a really interesting part of history when a library was vandalized, which is obviously a tragedy, but I understand a very well-researched and told story, so I'm excited about that. This is pretty cool. I got a copy of Moby Dick. This is the Modern Library edition. Modern Library, really cool publisher that tried to get affordable copies of classics so the average people can enjoy them. This copy of Moby Dick is Rockwell Kent, who's the original illustrator of Moby Dick, the first edition. Rockwell did the illustrations. And I was actually really lucky once on a vacation to see in Alaska where he went on this small island and camped out there to observe wildlife, and it was fascinating. So I'm really interested in Rockwell Kent, and the illustrations are really cool. I marked one for you. This is, if you know the story of Moby Dick, there's a part where this wayward man is trying to find somewhere to stay, and this is one of the illustrations. And I love this style. And this book has been loved, and it has a little Scotch tape situation on the cover, but this is a great edition. This is, let's see, on the copyright page you can see here, 1982. So this guy's been around the block. It's amazing to me to think that the 1980s were almost 40 years ago, which is coming up on Antique Land for a book. So this book is pretty rare on eBay. I checked this morning. The lowest price one I can find is $75. It's in slightly better condition because of the Scotch tape damage, war scars that we noticed. So I will probably be posting this on eBay, and the profits will help me afford my rock and roll book lifestyle. And I am excited to show you my big keeper from the day. And as you can see, we've almost made it to 1 in, 1 out policy on the bookshelves, so it has to be pretty cool to be a keeper. This is a book by Elizabeth Friedman. I saw recently there was a really great documentary about her life on PBS, and I think it was Codebreaker was the title. And I read a book about her that was extremely well researched and fascinating called The Woman Who Smashed Codes. And it's about her life getting into encryption and code breaking for the government. She was just a sort of liberal arts major, and she got hired by a mysterious, fascinating man who had a theory about codes in Shakespeare plays. And there are a lot of theories about who Shakespeare really was, or if he hid things in his writing. And this gentleman suffered from that belief system, and he hired Elizabeth and her future husband, William, to look into this code situation. And in the documentary and in the book, they talk a little bit about her experiences and how she met her husband, and together they were this great code breaking team, which is a fantastic story. And I'm really happy that we're bringing this now to where we can hear about it. So they reference this book that Elizabeth and William wrote this book about their research into this Shakespeare cipher, and and I wanted to read it, but it's a very rare book, and I think you can find it online. You can buy it online if you don't care to look at a picture first, for about $30, and then they go up to maybe $300. I don't think this is a first edition. The copyright page on this one, the title page, I'll show you that, says 1958, and I found some listings that say for a copy that says 1958, and people are claiming that's a first edition, but I also saw some listings that are for 1957, which is earlier. Clearly they can't both be first. So I think this is maybe a second edition or a second printing, and I'm really excited to read it. This one has a very distinct old book smell, and I am ironically allergic to mold, so I might have to air it out before I read it in depth. But this is very exciting because this cost me about $4.50. And that is a huge treasure that I'm sure I'm going to enjoy, and I'll have to find space on these shelves for it. So that was my shopping trip today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to see the next one, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss it. and leave me a comment if you have any questions about the books. Thanks so much. Happy reading.